Hi everyone, yes, Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Remi Wolf album, Juno. This is the debut full-length LP of singer, songwriter, producer Remi Wolf. The anticipation for this record, it feels like it's been building up forever. She's had a couple of big viral hits, some respectable EPs, and a lot of her audience growth happened over the course of a concertless pandemic. Remi also teased about half the record in the lead up to this LP, and pretty much every track sounded like a wild, noisy party in the back of a thrift shop. Not in a Macklemore kind of way, more like a two Depop sellers ready to kill each other over a vintage NASCAR shirt kind of way. Needless to say, Remi's music has a lot of personality, not just because of her vocal range and incredible versatility. She sounds just as comfortable rapping as she does singing, but you've also got to give it to the eclectic mashes of rock, rap, pop, funk, R&B on this thing. Sometimes the way Remi brings different styles together reminds me of early Beck. At points, we also get the wild attitude and the instrumental density of a Tune Yards record, or the nimble vocal licks and detailed harmonies of a Dirty Projectors record. But even those direct comparisons aren't that close to the full experience of Juno. There's so much commotion happening on any given track from this LP, it's difficult to sum up. But pretty much all the chaos is calculated to fit very snugly into these incredible grooves and infectious hooks. Cause underneath all the eccentricity Remi's hitting us with on her vocals, on her instrumentation, there is a steady hand forming these complex multi-genre fusions. And the track list on this thing is just bops right from the first one. The soaring vocal harmonies, fat drums, fuzzy guitars, and glossy keys on Liquor Store set Remi up to pull off a really funny rap verse that runs essentially like a character portrait. There's a real sadness and urgency to Remi singing as well on this chorus that surprisingly cuts through all the color and quirk of the instrumental. That quirk, however, does get turned up a bit on the following Anthony Kiedis, a song whose eccentric production is juxtaposed against these lyrics about pandemic isolation and going nuts as a result of that in a way. And I love how on the verses, vocally and instrumentally, there's already so much going on. There's so many dry, upfront, loud layers right in your face, but even from there, Remi manages to push it to another level with these choruses that really blossom and layer up with these grand na-na vocal harmonies and some very loud guitar. Somehow this record manages to make its generally claustrophobic sound feel huge. And for Remi, that sonic claustrophobia, I don't even see it as a bad thing. Just everything on this record is so close, it's so upfront, it's so in your face, there's nothing and nowhere to hide. The slick and funny WYD is a great R&B tinged cut with more impressive and dynamic vocal work. Remi's kind of covering all the bases on this one, from melodic rap flows to cartoony chants. On Gorilla, the throbbing synths, tight beats, and bright harmony hits build a bubbly backdrop for Remi to paint this picture about this crush, this confusion that she's thrown into as a result of this guy who is leaving an impression. Then Quiet on Set, which might be my favorite track on the entire record. This one has almost an NERD vibe to it off of its gritty and zany mix of synths and beats. Remi flexes her personality on this one through her pen with some really bizarre and uncompromising bars. The Orgy at Five Guys one is a lot. I don't think the record is all insanity though. There are points at which instrumentally or emotionally Remi does hit pockets of introspection or subtlety. The song Vulciano, for example, may have this blaring siren hook to it, but the measured singing and lyrics laced throughout the verses of this track explore heartbreak and self-doubt in a way that's really earnest and relatable. There's also a reflective tone on the song Grumpy Old Man, where Remi is singing about her defensiveness and emotions that make her almost a cranky person to be around, at least how it comes off in the song, which I think causes this comparison to a grumpy old man. It's a good chorus, but like for some reason toward the end, Remi starts singing it in sort of a southern accent with a yeehaw ad-lib. I do love this one, but there are some points on the record where I think maybe Remi is doing a tad bit too much. The constant falsetto vocal harmonies on the song Buttermilk are a little grating. Plus, I don't think the hook on this one really pops considering just how repetitive the instrumental is. It doesn't progress or contrast all that well from one section of the song to the next. Then with the song Sally, some of the auto-tuned vocal leads on this one are a little tangy. It's kind of like licking a 9-volt. The song itself is fine. I like the lyrical tone of it a lot, but I don't think that auto-tune or just the boldness of the vocal on this one fits how low-key and somber the song and instrumentation really are. Then the closer, Street You Live On, is another moment that I thought was a little over the top, because all the strange vocal manipulations to Remy singing on this track, it does distract from the song itself quite a bit. It's a tad unflattering, and for a singer as bold as Remy, may be unnecessary. Though I do generally appreciate the experimentation of this track and others. Maybe it's something that if she were to take another whack at it could be tweaked to sound more interesting. And look, while I do have reservations about several of the tracks on this LP, considering stylistically what's worked for Remy so far, plus the fact that this is a debut where she is still tweaking her sound a bit, I would rather an album here where she is doing unapologetically too much than giving us too little out of fear or hesitation. So yeah, while the songs on this LP I think are a little spotty toward the end, damn, it's got a great start, and I love the vast majority of the tracks here. And overall, it's a really impressive debut that I hope rolls into even more impressive records down the road. I'm feeling a strong 7 to a light 8 on this one. Transition, have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head, it's another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, Remy Wolf, forever.